the size of a bee, and then smaller, to the size of the organs of the bee and the detailed limit of human vision. But no need to stop here. At 24 divisions are the cells of the bee, each just as alive as the animal they form, and each with their own organs carrying out the business of animating inert matter, defending themselves from viruses, things so small as to hover on the edge of what can be alive. 32 divisions down and we enter the mechanical brain of this animal cell, containing chromosomes of DNA, the operating system of life tightly coiled. But it's here the lights go out. Just 39 divisions is already smaller than visible light, and seeing in a meaningfully human way with limited human eyes is meaningless. So, let us turn on atomic vision to explore what's here. 56 divisions down is the width of a strand of DNA, where hexagonal arrangements of atoms interact mechanically to build living things, to build more DNA. 64 divisions down is the size of a single hydrogen atom, and we fall through its electron orbital to enter the interior and discover the truth of matter. It is made of mostly nothing. Everything you touch, everything physical you care about, is an electron cloud creating the illusion of something over nothing. At the center of the atom there is but the tiniest speck of matter, the hydrogen nucleus, a single proton 1/100,000th the size of the atom that contains it. Before yet even 100 half divisions down from the A4 where we started begins to stretch human comprehensibility, the proton isn't a sphere, but a sea of quarks appearing and disappearing, averaging out to 3 bound together with the strongest force. Here, we hover above the edge of the abyss of quantum deep before plunging down into the nothing, falling for twice as many divisions down as we have already traveled, until we reach quantum madness at the very floor of the universe and the limit of our current theories, the Planck length. There is nothing here, yet this is the smallest size, the least distance that can be moved or measured. A sort of reality pixel, which is best not to think about, so let us fly back up the quantum well, doubling and doubling to return to the world of quarks and nuclei and atoms and light and the illusory cloud of the physical, back to life, back to our sheet of A4 paper, which now unfolds itself to a sheet twice the size, doubling to the size of a desk, then a room, then a home, the building the home is in, the street the building is on, continuing this same shape spiral to double to the size of the neighborhood around the street, then the size of a town, a small city, a thing which is not alive but a meta-organism which lives through the actions of its human cells. Just 36 doublings of a sheet of A4 is the size of the largest cities, and it is at this scale the accomplishments of the human species are most visible and impressive. But just a few doublings later, every structure that humans have wrought fades to invisibility, and only the light we create can be seen. At twice the distance the Earth is wide are the farthest satellites, passing light around Earth for instant Terran communication. 60 doublings brings the moon's orbit into view, and at this scale, the speed of light instant just a moment ago is now slow enough to watch move, a beam from Earth to the moon taking 1 second. As far as we know, this is the speed limit of the universe. Nothing can travel faster. Communication between Earth and Moon will always have a delay, and as we resume doublings, it will not be long before the speed of light proves heartbreakingly slow. Past 68 doublings, Earth becomes too small to see, so we must draw her orbit instead. And at 76 doublings, we can see the orbits of Venus and Mars. Light now takes 2 minutes to reach Venus, and 14 to reach Mars. 80 doublings is the distance to the Sun, our home star, and doublings beyond this reveal the orbits of the outer planets, and eventually the whole of the solar system, which light takes 8 hours to cross. Beyond the orbit of Pluto is the Voyager 1 space probe, the farthest any object produced by human civilization has traveled. Yet, at the scale of all that exists, our species has explored nothing. There are yet still 20 doublings to go before we've left our home star. After what would take a month traveling at the speed of light, we enter the Oort cloud, icy planetesimals occasionally knocked from orbits to fall inward, becoming comets. It would take another year at light speed to leave the Oort cloud and the realm of the sun's dominance. 124 doublings is wide enough to reach our closest neighboring stars, but at this scale they are only points of light, and thus the truth of space. It is made of mostly nothing. Stars, with their own planets and potentially their own life, are light years apart, with naught but stray atoms of hydrogen in between. Though, as we continue doubling, the illusion of something solid appears. Our galaxy, this collection of 100 billion stars shining into the dark to create the appearance of a cloud. At the speed of light, 100 millennia across. But even our galaxy shrinks to a point, and now the other points of light are galaxies themselves, each with billions of their own stars. As the doublings continue, the galaxies form galactic filaments, the largest known structures, the last threads of light in the void. At 184 doublings of a sheet of A4 paper is the end of everything that can be for us. We have reached the edge of the observable universe, a sphere containing 2 trillion galaxies. Yet, even this may not be the end of everything that there is. Beyond the observable universe is the unobservable universe, in which exist objects so distant, light traveling from them beyond this border will never reach Earth before the death of every living thing everywhere, caused by the extinction of every star and the end of the universe itself. Just how many doublings exist beyond is unknowable, but potentially enough to shrink everything that could ever be for us into nothing, in infinite nothing.
Managing teams remotely has never been more important. Isn't it time you brought your teams together so they can focus?
A Hollywood legend
Nick Cage.
will become
The man you're staying with?
My very easy method just speeds up naming planets. Every physics classroom has a solar system line like this, or like this. Sorry, Pluto. Looking at the line, which planet is closest to Earth, Venus or Mars? To answer, you need first know that, like many things in school, the line is a lie. Planets are not people queuing for coffee, but rather spheroids scattered in space, always in motion, not in simple circles either, but in ellipses at untidy angles. In the cold, dark expanse, this is the coziest Venus gets to Earth, but only about once a year and a half-ish. Starting close, she orbits far, then comes back, needs some space on the other side of the sun. This means when Venus is away, Mars can be the closest to play. So because of orbits, there isn't one answer to who is the closest. It's really who is mostly the closest. The mostest closest. When Mars and Venus are both on the other side of the sun, it leaves little Mercury the closest. Each of Earth's inner 3-planet friends are, at one time the farthest and the closest, and Mercury, with his smallest orbit, makes him never that far from Earth, at least on planetary scales, giving the little guy a uniquely close relationship with Terra. In fact, watching the planets spin, because of his small orbit, Mercury, not Mars or Venus, is the closest planet most of the time. Looking at the line, that seems impossible, but nonetheless, in the way of actual orbits, if we keep measuring the distance to all the planets as they spin, Mercury is Earth's mostest closest neighbor, which is delightfully unexpected. But wait, if Mercury is the mostest closest to Earth, he has to be the mostest closest to Venus as well, right? Because her orbit is smaller than Earth's. And running the numbers, it's true, making Earth's special relationship with Mercury less special. But at least this is one time where the line provides the obvious answer. Mercury is closest to Venus. While we're here, who is Mars's mostest closest? On his other side is the asteroid belt, so it should be Earth, but maybe it's Venus. Maybe the rule is the second closest is the mostest closest. Watching the results and... oh my Celestia, it's Mercury again. Mercury is the mostest closest to Earth, Venus, and Mars for the same reason each time. Bigger orbits make farther average distances for longer times. So mercurial Mercury is the constantist companion. No, it can't be true for Jupiter too. Enormous far away Jupiter. But it is! Once again, Mercury's small orbit means he never goes as far away as the other planets with their bigger orbits. Thus, are you ready for this? The orbital math that shows Mercury is the mostest closest to Jupiter is the same for all the planets and everything that orbits the Sun. You too, Pluto. For each of the planets, Mercury is the mostest closest.
Wouldn't it be lovely if you could hide an Easter egg anywhere?
Hello! So you want to be a pirate, my lad? Well, let me tell ye, being a pirate be all about branding. Yar, it's a business, but branding be bringing in the booty, and if ye be shipping with our jolly crew, ye need love this Jolly Roger. Question, isn't waving a pirate flag like waving a We Are Thieves flag? It seems not helpful. This skull and crossbones be more than just a bit of arg, look at us. It's plumage prerequisite for plundering. As pirates, we be wanting booty. Booty be licious. But parties protect their booty, preferring it unplundered. So we must plunder asunder, which 'tis a lot of work and risk. Who needs that? See, we want free booty. When we ask for booty, booty to be granted, and bounce. But why would a ship just give up? The branding! Plus a surprise reveal. Ye were right, we don't fly the flag for fun, we fly false flags, keeping the Roger hidden for just the right moment. Our ship be lean and mean, and we hide this too. With prey in sight, we billow barrels behind, so though our sails be full, our speed be slow, and we seem fat and full, with supplies kept above deck for greater effect. Okay, that's pretty clever. But this be my favorite, a camouflaged hull, painted canvas unfurled to cover the true number of guns. Behold! That looks pretty fake. Yar, it need only look good from afar. The ships be seen at a distance through a looking glass on the high seas. Branding is image, not reality.